Welcome to Chapter 1 of Fit Inside Out, a beginner's guide to a healthy body and mindset. I wanted to read this to you chapter by chapter because I'd like for you to get the benefits of my message and what I'm trying to share. And initially, at the end of the day, what I am trying to share is that it doesn't take a lot to get started. You're never as far off as you think you are, and fitness is made to be fun and working out from a place of love, not from a place of hate. So, chapter 1 of Fit Inside Out is called Find Your Big Why and Discover Your Self-Worth. That's a big one. Very important. That's why it's chapter 1. So, why do we exercise? This is a big question. Why do some of us wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. to do physical activities? Why do some of us brave the cold in the dead of winter to run on half-plowed icy sidewalks day in and day out? Why do we go to the gym? To put our bodies completely outside of our comfort zones and push ourselves to the next level. Why do we set physical achievement goals? Why do we isolate ourselves from our friends and families to spend hours a week sculpting our bodies? Why do we bike great distances to and from work? Why do we sweat? Why do we want to push our bodies and minds through a seemingly gruesome workout that was put together by a professional in a private or group setting? Seriously though, why do we exercise? Isn't it much easier just to sit on the couch, eat potato chips with dip and watch TV? Maybe, but in the long run, how do we feel when we sit on the couch, eat potato chips with dip and watch TV? We feel like a lazy, gross couch potato who is sluggish and lacks energy and motivation, right? Now, for those who exercise, how do we feel in the long run? We feel fantastic. We feel energized. We feel empowered, competent, strong, healthy, physically able, in control, stable, on track, happy, exemplary, excellent, admirable, and the list goes on. So let's ask this question again. Why do we exercise? Have you ever been to a place where you see a bunch of people running, let's say, on the sidewalk, and, don't they just seem to be just happy? Don't you see in a group setting, in a group class somewhere, or you're watching TV and you're watching an exercise video, don't you see happy people? When you exercise, it makes you happy. Everyone has a reason to exercise. Some of us have more than one. Whatever those reasons are, they bring us together on the wonderful fitness train. Some of us have been on this train before and have fallen off, perhaps more than once. Some of us have never been on this train before and have no idea what it's all about. All we see is a bunch of fit people who seem to be genuinely happier than we are. So what is that all about? We ask ourselves this question sometimes, and weeks, months, or even years can go by before we realize we want to be on this train too. But what makes us want to be on this train? Our why, that's what it is. Now, what is a why? Why do we need one? And how do we know what our why is? Well, let me tell you. Sometimes things happen in life that makes us go, WTF? It doesn't necessarily have to be a fitness-related event, such as sprinting through a street light that's changing and being out of breath from that and realizing just how out of shape we are. It can be anything from a birth, an engagement, a wedding, a separation, the death of a loved one, a huge health scare, and so on. It can even be the dreaded reading of that scary number on this feared device called the scale. These events are triggers, and these triggers are what will play the biggest role in finding your why. Because we don't just wake up one day and decide to start running a marathon for no reason. We don't just decide that we feel like building muscle. We don't just all of a sudden want to squat 300 pounds. There's a why behind all of these. Everyone's why is different, and no one's why is better than anyone else's, no matter how significant one might think their why is. Now, you need to find your why, and this has to be specific to you and only you. This has to come from your life, your past, your present, and future. This why has to be grandiose because this is what will save you on gloomy days. This is what will pick you up off the floor when you're having a bad day at work or a stressful week at home, or whatever other reason people use to justify wanting to curl up into a ball and drink wine and eat pizza. You see, drinking wine and eating pizza is easier than picking yourself up and going for a walk, isn't it? But does it make you feel better? Not really, right? Actually, it makes you regret life the next day, so to speak. And that's where your why comes in, to magically scoop you up and take you to where you need to be. Whether it's a boot camp, or going for a run, or at the gym to work on your routine, wherever you're supposed to be and whatever you're supposed to be doing, according to your plans and goals, your why brings you there, and here's how. So Dylan is a 13-year-old boy who gets bullied at school because he's a bit puny and acts out all the time. He lacks confidence and self-esteem. Dylan doesn't like discipline, but deep down he craves it. Dylan doesn't like hugs, but deep down needs them. Dylan's been attending Taekwondo classes for 2 years now and has just realized that the bullying has stopped. He holds himself differently now because of his rising confidence and self-esteem. He realizes that he would potentially be able to defend himself quite well if some sort of altercation were to ever arise. He listens better because he accepts the discipline that he really didn't respond well to in the beginning. Life is different for Dylan now because even though Dylan didn't have a why in the beginning, he has a why now. There's no way those bullies are going to put me down now. I am an orange belt in Taekwondo and I'm proud of it. I can break wooden boards with my feet. So there you go. A 13-year-old has a why, and nothing keeps him from his Taekwondo training. If a kid can have a why like this, then you can too. So this is a real example from someone that I know. So you can use that whenever you're kind of thinking about what your why potentially could be. And here's another example. Marc Coder is a busy Ottawa lawyer who, like many of us, has a demanding job, a family with children, and several hobbies and interests. Throughout his life, Marc has always been athletic. He played organized football back in 1973. He was one of the first members at the Ottawa Athletic Club. He played hockey, worked at an arena, filled in for players. Marc doesn't remember not having fitness as part of his life. When he first became a lawyer, and in the early years of his children's lives, he and his wife always trained. He admits they aren't gym people. They like to take on their exercise routines at home by using various home gym equipment and or following DVD routines. Marc said, "You name it and we've tried it." His habits are formed around health and fitness. His day starts with push-ups every morning and includes healthy nutrition-based meals throughout the day, plus a workout every evening at 6 p.m. This happens 5 days a week, no sidetracks, no missing days, not even holidays. With all these good habits, what is Marc's why? Marc doesn't believe in aging. He says, you don't have to grow old and not be able to walk. It's important to be fit and healthy. He never lacks energy. He can keep up with his grandkids. At 58 years old, he doesn't take pills, and this lifestyle keeps him happy. He's happy to lead by example for his children. His goals have evolved over the years, and at some point, he and his wife made the decision to really tighten up on their nutrition in order to reach that next level experience. Since then, they've never let go. I asked Marc to help us out and give us 4 of his most important pieces of advice, which he happily shared. So number 1, start with nutrition. Buy a book on food to understand nutrition. Take care of your blood health. Number 2, you need physical activity to complement your nutrition. Number 3, stay away from grains. And number 4, stay healthy and be happy. So listen, I chose Mac as an example here to let you know that, a lot of people say, well, I'm too busy to work out. I'm too busy. I don't have any time. I have no time for this. I have no time to think about my nutrition. I have no time to think about my physical health, my physical body, take care of myself. Well, if I'm using a busy lawyer who could easily say this, then anybody could easily say this. But there's no excuse for that. You can't say, I'm too busy for this. Then make time. You prioritize your own time. So maybe how much TV you're watching, maybe you can try to, tone that down a little bit and spend some extra time with yourself and take care of your physical fitness. So being someone who is busy and in demand, there isn't a minute to spare in your daily life. So why and how can a person set goals and boundaries that allow them to be successful in achieving these goals if they are in constant demand? Work and life have the ability to take over so easily in these cases. There will always be someone or something demanding your time and attention. So it's up to you to make that time. This is where the why comes in. The why is what makes you a priority, what brings your goals to the forefront and carves out the time you need to take the steps in the journey of your health and fitness. Your why is what sweeps you off your perceived life requirements and obligations. It sends you within yourself for an hour or so, 3 or 4 times a week, for you to test yourself, achieve new limits, gain confidence, and a new love for yourself. Your why keeps you focused on your goal. If your why isn't big enough, it will have the potential to be brushed off and dismissed when you are questioning your journey. Our brain can work so well for us, but at the same time, it can work against us. That little voice inside yourself that talks to you on a regular basis sometimes fills you with doubt, fear, uncertainty, and hesitation. It's up to you to teach your brain how you want it to talk to you. When we find our why, we need to educate our brain and tell it that this is now our life's priority and to remove all obstacles and self-doubt that might arise in our journey. Our brain needs to know that this will make us happy and healthy. The more you train your brain to be supportive towards what you are trying to achieve, the more your brain will work with you in achieving your goal. A little bit of a quote here that I wrote in here is, it takes years to sculpt the body you want. So please love yourself and don't get discouraged when results take longer than expected. I didn't really realize that I had a why at first during my fitness journey, other than I'm in the wrong body for who I am and won't accept going up another clothing size. Then my why became, I want to lose 40 pounds. Then it became, my group at the gym needs me, so I have to be there for them. Then it became, I love myself and my new energy, and I want to maintain this new glowing self forever. Then it became, I want to be fit for myself and set a good example for my children. After that, I want to lose an extra 10 pounds to make a total of 50 pounds. And then I want to act as a leader in health and fitness and want to walk the walk and talk the talk. I want to be the fittest and healthiest person I know and live healthy until I'm 105 years old, and so on. This drive to be healthy shows in every aspect of my life. I rarely get sick. My blood pressure is below the normal range. My resting heart rate is lower than the normal range. And my most recent blood test looked like I studied for hours for it. That's how perfect it was. I can never imagine going back to my low energy, slumpy self who ate cheesy dip and nachos to the point of feeling like throwing up. Now I have a burning desire to break through glass ceilings and prove to myself that anything is possible. My why now is much different than, the first why, but it's a combination of all whys throughout these past 9.5 years. And this keeps me focused and dedicated to my health and fitness journey. One of my most important core values is lead by example. And that doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. I don't expect perfection of myself, but I do lead by example because I truly believe in what I'm doing. I truly believe in telling people, hey, your physical fitness matters. My physical fitness matters. Yours matters. I'm the one people count on to lead them on the right path to being fit. My footsteps matter, and my story matters too, to inspire others by practicing what I preach. My goals don't have to be the same, but my actions make a difference in the hearts of so many. This doesn't mean that I have to be perfect. I just said this. Of course, I have hiccups too sometimes, but I am perfect to me because I always overcome my mistakes, move on, and stay true to myself and others. Much like Marc's example above, I have built certain habits and crafted a mindset that exercising has become a part of me. It's not a question of if, but a question of when exercise will be done in the day. Here's a few examples of whys from actual people just like you that you'll probably be able to relate to in one way or another. So here's my friend Kathy Brahman, and Kathy says, I had resolved myself to a life of pain, limitations, obesity, and disability. I was literally paralyzed by the fear of a body that continually betrayed me. I decided that I was not going to be defined by a diagnosis and took control of my life. So, very powerful why. Cameron Tomlinson, one of my other friends, I train for my mental health. I started training more strength related than anything as part of my recovery from active drug addiction. Training, working out, whatever you want to call it, centers me and allows me to destroy stress. I almost always leave the gym with a sense of accomplishment. Tracy Henderson, one of my other friends and ex-neighbor, I woke up on January 3rd, 2016 and felt tired and big. I looked in the mirror and couldn't believe it was me standing there. This was not the person I had planned to become. So I worked up the courage to go to a free boot camp class and was met not with the look of pity and disdain I expected, but with an attitude of, welcome, you can do this. Though weight loss was the motivator that became secondary. Almost 2 years later, I continue to go 5 to 6 days a week because I feel awesome. I sleep better, think clearer, and look better. I am starting to recognize the person in the mirror again. My other friend, Krista Bowman. My why? To live, be happy, and enjoy my family. Before the euphoric feeling of fitness and a healthy lifestyle gave me, I was feeling low, living in a sloth-type state, slugging away. Now, with fitness in my life, I won't be going back to that, what I was, but going forward to a better version of me. Charlene Conrad, another one of my friends. The things that motivate me to exercise and meal plan, the why for me is threefold. Number one, I exercise to show myself that I am worth putting energy and effort into. Number two, I exercise because I want to look the way I feel. And three, I exercise because being a role model to my kids matters to me. And finally, Lucie Lafleur, another one of my friends and longtime clients. I train to push myself further, to try harder, and to show myself that I can do it. It's also to try something new and to show my kids that with hard work, you can do it and should be proud of yourself. By the way, Lucie now holds 2 Canadian records in powerlifting competition. Thought I'd mention that. So these people chose to make fitness a big part of their lives. And each of these people has beautiful reasons why. So what are your reasons? Why do you want to look and feel good? Think about this for a few minutes. Take a few deep breaths, grab a piece of paper, and write it down. After you write it down, think, how did you feel while writing this down? Probably full of hope, drive, and ambition, correct? Now, every time you feel like giving up, I want you to come back to this page and reread your own words in your own writing and relive how you felt when you wrote this down. Trust me, this will save you many times. Your words will keep you motivated and working hard towards achieving your goal. No one holds more power over you than yourself. Also, another little quote that I wrote down here is, no one can make you happy until you are happy with yourself first. So a little bit of a recap on chapter 1 is identify your why. It will change your life and will help you in difficult times. You can be busy and still practice a lifestyle that revolves around your health and fitness. Expect and appreciate that your why will change over the years. So before we move on to chapter 2, I wanted to take a few minutes though to thank everyone who participated in my chapter 1. Mark Kader, Kathy Broman, Cameron Tomlinson, Tracy Henderson, Krista Bowman, Charlene Conrad, and Lucie Lafleur. Thank you for sharing your deep whys and helping other people achieve theirs. All right, so we'll see you at chapter 2. Thank you.